everyone, this is Nidhi Ghatia. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, so in this lecture we are going to discuss the polypoids. So let's we start it. Okay, so today's our study of the content, that is introduction of the polypoids, then classification, then occurrence, then inducing of polypoids, then application of the polypoids, then advantages of the polypoids, and also disadvantages of the polypoids. Okay, so let's we start the first topic, that is introduction. Okay, so what is polypoid? Polypoids are the organism which with multiple sets of the chromosomes in excess of the diploid number. Okay, polypoids are the organism with multiple set of the chromosomes in excess of the diploid number. So what is diploid? It contains the two complete sets of the chromosomes, so one from each parent. Okay, that's called the diploids. Diploid contains the two complete set of the chromosomes. Okay, two complete set of the chromosomes, that's called the diploids. Okay, so polypoids is the common in nature, are provided as the major mechanism for the adaptation and speciation. Okay, and then approximately 50 to 70% of the angiosperms which include the many crops plant have undergone polypoids during their evaluation process. So what is angiosperm? So plant that has flowering and produce the seeds enclosed within the carpels, that's called the angiosperm. Okay, so any of the plant they having their flowers, and also they produce the seeds, so that's called the angiosperm. Okay, so 50 to 70% of the angiosperms which include the many crops plant, okay, cropping the plants and have undergone the polyploids are polypoids during their evaluationary process. Okay, so polypoid and polypoid both are the same word. Okay, so now we start the classification of the polypoids. So mainly two classification based on the chromosomal composition. So first one, that is euploids, and second one, that is the aneuploids. Okay, so first, that is the euploids. So euploids consist the majority of the polypoids. All are the polypoids. Majority of the polypoids that are the main consist with the euploids. Okay, so now we start the study of the euploids, first class of the classification of the polypoid. Okay, so euploids are the polypoids with multiple of the complete set of the chromosome specific to species. Okay, that is the multiple of the complete sets of the chromosome at the specific species. Okay, mention this word, that is specific species. Euploids are polypoids with multiple of the complete set of the chromosomes, multiple complete set of the chromosomes at the any specific species, so that's called the euploids. Okay, so depending on the composition of the genome, and euploids can be further classified into other two class are mentioned here. So first, that is the autopolypoids, and second one, that is the allopolypoids. Okay, so now we see the autopolypoids. So autopolypoids contains the multiple copies of the basic set of the chromosome of the same genomes. Okay, multiple copies of the basic sets of the chromosome of same genome. Okay, same genome having the multiple copies of the chromosomes, that's called the autopolypoids. Okay, so here these figure are mentioned the autoploid process for the same genome and same chromosomes. Okay, multiple copies of the basic sets. Okay, so here 2, 3, 4 3, 4 copies of the. So first, that is a karyotype of the parent species. So this is a parent species. Further process is the meiotic error. Okay, and then self fertilizer. So undergoing the zymet with the 6 chromosome and unreduce the zymet with the 6 chromosome and unreduce the zymet with the 6 chromosome. Both are the process followed with the 6 chromosomes. Okay, so formation of the zygote and autopolyploids. Okay, so formation of the zygote or that's called the autopolyploids. Okay, 4n is equals to 12. Okay, so multiple chromosomes are formed in 6 chromosome plus into 2. Okay, so that is the 12 chromosome are formation. So offspring with the polyploids karyotypes may be visible and be self fertiles. Okay, so now we occurs in nature through union of the unreduced zymet. Okay, the nature, that is the union of unreduced zymet. Then natural autopolyploids include the terploid crop such as the alfalfa, peanuts, then potatoes and coffee, and triploid bananas. Okay, so these all are the alfalfa, that is the one type of the beans. Okay, so naturally autoploids are include the terpenes crop such as the alfalfa, then peanuts, then potatoes and coffee and triploid bananas. Okay, so now we see the second class, that is the allopolyploids. So a combination of the genome from the different species. Different species of the genomes are react with the together and they making the hybrid genomes, and further they growing up and they generate the new species of the hybrid genomes. Okay, so that's called the allopolyploids. So here first we take the two different types of the genome of the different species and they introduce the zymet and 4 chromosomes are present, and second one, that is a normal zymet that having the 3. Okay, so hybrid with the 7 chromosomes. So both are the chromosomes are the hybrided, and then reduce the zymet and the 7 chromosomes are the reacted, and further viable fertilizer hybrid. Okay, they are making the viable fertilite hybrids. Okay, so they making the hybrid species, okay, of the plant. So they result from the hybridization of the 2 or more genomes followed by the chromosome doubling or by the fusion of the unreduced zymet between species. Okay, so this mechanism is called the disjunction. This meiotic aberrance result in the plant with reduce the vigor. Okay, disjunction. So this mechanism is called is the non-disjunction. So this meiotic this process, that is a meiotic aberrance process. Okay, so resulting in the plant with reduced vigor. Okay, then economically important natural allopoids crop included with the strawberry, wheat, oats, then unplanned cotton, then oil seeds, rape, then blueberry and mustard. Okay, these all are the plants it's having the economically important with the natural allopoids. Okay, allopoids cropping for these all are the plants. Okay, so now we see the anopoids. So anopoids are the polyploid that contains the either the addition or subtract of the one or more specific chromosome to total number of the chromosomes that usually make up the polyploids of species. So aneuploids are the aneuploids are polyploids. Okay, so that's contain the either that's contain either an addition or subtraction of one or more specific chromosome. Okay, addition or either subtraction, okay, one or more specific chromosome to the total number of the chromosome, and that usually make up the ploids of the species. Okay, so aneuploids result from the formation of the unvalent and multivalent during the meiosis of eukaryotes. Okay, so with the no mechanism of the dividing univalent equally among daughter cells, and during the anaphase anaphase 1, some cells inherit more genetic material than the other. Okay, so with the no any specific mechanism for the division of the chromosomes, so here univalent equal among the daughter cells during the anaphase 1 process. Okay, so some cells inherit more genetic material than the other. So similarly, multivalents such as the homologous chromosomes may fail to separate during the meiosis, leading to unequal migration of the chromosome to opposite pole. Okay, in first mechanism they don't having the mechanism for the division of the chromosome. So univalent, in univalent chromosomes they having the daughter cells during the anaphase 1. Okay, equal number of the daughter cells in anaphase 1. Okay, and then some cell inherent more genetic material than the other. In multivalent such as the homologous chromosomes may fail to separate. Okay, they don't having the any separation process in their structures. So during the meiosis leading during the meiosis leading to unequal migration of the chromosome to opposite poles. Okay, so classification of the aneuploids, that is the first, that is the monosomy, nucleosomy, then trisomy, then tetrasomy and pentasomy. Okay, these all are the terms for the their pronunciation. In chromosome number, in monosomy first to n plus 1, nucleosomy nucleosomy so to n plus 2, trisomy 2n plus 2, then tetrasomy 2n plus 2, then pentasomy, so that is 2n plus 3. So terms and chromosome number. This is a classification of the aneuploids. Now we see the inducing polyploids. Okay, so they occurrence spontaneously through the process of the chromosome doubling. Okay, this process of the chromosome, they having the doubling process. So spontaneous chromosomes doubling in the ornamental and frogs, grasses has lead to increase the vigor. Okay, so example, that is tulip frogs, grasses, ray grasses having the yielded superior variety following the spontaneous chromosomes doubling. Okay, tulip frog, grasses, ray grasses having the yielded, okay, more yielded superior variety following the spontaneous chromosomes doubling. And then breeders having the harnessed the process of the chromosome doubling in vitro process through induce the polyploids to produce the superior crops. Okay, so breeder having the harnessed the process of the chromosome. Okay, so in this doubling process they having the in vitro through the induce the polyploids to produce the superior crops. Okay, they growing up more growability in the plants, so they having the superior crops. Okay, produce the superior crops. So induce the polyploids, that main work, that is the produce the superior crops in doubling process. Okay, so for an example, they induce the tetraploids in the watermelon crop are used for the production of the seedless triploid hybrid fruit. Okay, induce the tetraploids in watermelon. So the crop are used for the production of seedless triploid hybrid fruit. Okay, watermelon fruit are hybrided with the seedless fruit. Okay, so such as the polyploids are induced through the treatment of the diploid with meiotic inhibitors such as the dinitroaniline and colchicine. Okay, so this is the process diploid plant and they arrange in the in vitro culture, and then shoot to deep meristem, and then treatment with the polyploiding agent, and then micropropagation are followed, and further root in vitro process are followed, and then leaf tissue directly the elimination of the other polyploids level and mixoploids. Okay, and then further they convert into they are further processed in the solid tetraploids, and then they make in the solid tetraploids. Okay, so and further they react with the leaf tissues. The root in vitro study are followed with the leaf tissues and isolation of the nucleus, and after the filtration process, and then DNA ploids are followed there, and further the root in vitro process are followed, and after they making the solid tetraploids. Okay, so this is the inducing polyploids process. Inducing polyploids, it is the necessary to eliminate the duplicate genes in the newly formed polyploids to the avoid gene silencing as well as to stabilize the fertility. Okay, so it is necessary for the eliminate the duplicate genes in the newly formed polyploids to avoid the genes silencing as well as to stabilize their gene. Okay, so the increase in the nuclear polyploids affect the structural and anatomical characteristic of the plant. Okay, they also maintain the nuclear ploids affect on the structure and anatomical characteristic of the plants. Okay, and then polyploids result in the increase the leaf and flower size. Also they increase the stromatal density, then size of the cells and chloroplast count. Okay, polyploids result in the increase the leaf and flower size, also stromatal density, and then cell size and chloroplast counts. Okay, then hybrid vigorous result from the interspecific crossed in the allopolyploids is one of the most exploited advantages of the polyploids in the plant breeding. Okay, so in a comparison between the leaf and flower, so A that is smaller and B that is the bigger, okay, in size, and A diploids and induce the tetraploids in watermelon. So diploid leaf or flower that is the smaller in size, and tetraploids flower and leaf also they are bigger in the size. Okay, so this is the watermelon leaf. Okay, so in hybrid vigor resulting from the interspecific crossed in the allopolyploids is one of the most exploited advantages of the polyploid in the plant breeding. Okay, then chimers, so plant part composed of the genetically different layer. Okay, so plants and plants part composed with the genetically different layer, so that's called the chimers. Okay, so in this fruit, so two genes are mixing and making the one fruit, so that is the hybrid fruits. So in easy terms we remember this definition, that is the plant part. Okay, plants or part of the plants, so they are having the mixture of the various genes on their composition, so that's called the chimers. Okay, any plant or any plant part, they are mixed with the other species of the genes, so they making the hybrid process, and two different genetically layers are the composed. Okay, so now we see the types of the chimers. So mericlinal chimers. So first, a mutation occurs in the one layer and along to the side of the apex. Okay, mutation occurs in the only one layer. So due to the position of the cells division, product of those mutated cell occurs as the layer on only one side of the plant and they are not instable. Only a section of the one of the layer is mutated. Okay, so in what we process follows in this process. So we first the mutation process are followed. So mutation in the one layer, okay, and along with the side apex. So due to this position, the cell dividation products of those mutated cells occurs as a layer on only one side of the plant and they are not stable. Okay, one side of the plant, the mutation only and only one side on the plant leaf, okay, apex. So this layer is only one side part, so they are not stable. So only section of these one of the layer is mutated. Okay. Then second one, that is a periclinical chimers. So a mutation occurs in a one or more layer. So the top of the apex. Okay. One or more layer. So at the top of the apex. So due to this position, the cell dividation product of the mutated cells spread and they cover the entire layer of the apex. Okay, so the entire layer is mutated and they are stable and comprise the most common type chimers of the horticulture. Okay, now we see the third type, that is a sectorial chimers. So a mutation occurs in the multiple layer of the top of the apex. So due to this position, the cell dividation products of the mutated cell gives the rise to section of the mutated cell. Okay, a mutation occurs in the multiple layer. In sectorial chimers, a mutation occurs in the multiple layer of the top of the apex. Okay, remember this multiple layer of the top of the apex. So due to this position, the cell dividation product of the mutated shell give the rise to the section of the mutated cell. So an entire section, so this entire section of the layer is mutated and stable and comprises a most common type of the chimer is horticulture. Okay. So now we going to study the application of the polyploids. So first that is a mutation breeding, second one that is a seedless fruits, third one that is a breeze crossing, then ornamental, fourth one that is a ornamental and frost breeding, then disease resistance, and through the aneuploids and industrial application of the polyploids. Okay, these all are the application of the polyploids. So now we see the first application, that is a mutation breeding. So mutation tolerance is polyploids crop advancement in a two parts, okay, two ways. So first way, that is a polyploid are able to tolerate deleteration, LS, modification, post mutation. Okay, this is called the post mutation, and they have the increase the mutation frequency because of their large genomes. So resulting forms the duplicate condition of the genes. So the high mutation frequency observed with the polyploids may be exploited when trying to induce mutation in a diploids. So cultivar that do not produce the enough genetic variation and after the mutagenic treatment. Okay, so these two way for the mutation branding. So first that is a polyploid are able to tolerate deleteration, LL modification on post mutation. Okay, then they increase the mutation frequency because of their large genome. So duplicate condition is in their genome. Okay, so they produce the duplicate condition in their hybrid genome. So these mutation having the high frequency observed with the polyploids may be exploited when trying to induce the mutation in diploids. So cultivar that do not produce the enough genetic variation after the mutagenic treatment. Okay, so this is the mutation branding. Okay, now we see the second one, that is a seedless fruit. So in any hybrid position, any hybrid fruits, they don't having the seeds. okay, in inner side. So diploid watermelon, they reacted with the dinitroaniline. So they tetra, they convert in the tetraploid watermelon. Okay, so their chromosome number, the genome number, that is a 4n. So inbred tetraploid watermelon, so they are the reacted with the inbred diploid watermelon. So they both are mix, both are one hybrid, they making the hybrid fruit, okay, hybrid plant. So they making the plant growing the hybrid fruit. So hybrid diploid watermelon is cultivator, okay, their chromosome number, their genome number, that is 3n. So they are they not having the seeds in their fruit, okay, inner side. So seedless watermelon fruit are arrived, okay. So this is the seedless fruit, second application. Now we see the third application. This is a breeds crossing. So utilization of the reproductive superiority of the polyploids. So when sexual incompatibility between two species are due to the ploids level transition, cross can be carried out followed by the chromosome doubling to produce the fertilized breeze hybrid. Okay, so this same principle has been applied on the fixing zygosity in hybrid by doubling the chromosomes in this superior progeny. Okay, so what we process are followed in the breeze crossing. So then utilization the reproductive superiority of the polyploids, okay, they are the mostly affect on the reproductive superiority of the plants, okay. So when the sexual incompatibility between the two species are due to the polyploids level, so they are the transitional cross can be carried out, okay, they having the transitional crossed, so followed by the chromosome doubling to produce the fertile breeze hybrid, okay. So the same principle have been applied on the fixing of the heterozygosity in hybrid plants, okay. The chromosome is the superior progeny, okay. Now we see the fourth one, that is ornamental and frost breeding, okay. So polyploids in the plants is an increase in the cell size, which is turn leads to the enlarged plant organs, okay. So this phenomena that's known as the Gigas effect, okay, Gigas effect. Polyploids in plants increase the cell size, which is the turn leads to the enlarged the plant organs, okay. So that's called the Gigas effect. So this increase in cell volume, so however the mainly attributed to the increase the watermelon and not biomass, okay. So water and not biomass. So this increase the volume of the cell, okay. So in the volume of the cell, they attributed to the increase the water and not the biomass. They only and only increase the water attributed to increase the water level in their inside, not the biomass of their fruit, okay. So although the chromosomes doubling may result in the significantly larger seeds and increase the seeds protein contained in the kernels crop and advantages of the offset by the low speed set, okay. So the ornamental crops such as the spendagorns, then marigold, have been bred through the chromosome doubling to improve the quality and size of the blossom, okay. Ornamental crops, that is the only and only for the show like attractive flowers, okay. Ornamental crop, that's nature, that is attractive nature. So their blossom in and quality size, they effect on their blossom, okay. So the marigold have been bred through the chromosome doubling, okay, chromosome doubling process, so improve their quality and size of their blossom, okay. Their blossom, that is a growing size. So the slower growth rate of the polyploids allowed them to flower later and for a longer period of the time, then there are diploid progenitors. So this quality may be of the interested especially in ornamental breeding. Okay, ornamental breeding, that is a slower growth rate. Okay, the plant growth rate that is a slower of the polypoids allows to them flower later than the longer period of the time. Okay, one time we crop their flower, then they growing after the longer period of the time. Okay, so this time there are the diploid progenitors. So this quality may be interested especially ornamental breeding. Okay. Then disease resistance through aneuploids. So aneuploids applied in the breeding to develop the disease resistance plant through the addition of an extra chromosomes into the progeny genome. Okay, any extra chromosomes are adding on the genome, parent genome, and mixing both are, then they produce the any disease condition of the plant. So example, that is the transfer of the leaf rust resistance to Trichum aestivum from Aegilope umbelluta. So through the break crossing, so in addition of the breeding strategy utilizing aneuploids have been explored inducing chromosome dilatation. Okay, then chromosome substitution at the numerally chromosome. Okay, they making the supranumerary chromosome also. So now this is the last application, industrial application of the polypoids. So commercially synthesis of the sex hormone and corticosteroids has been improved significantly by the artificial product in induction of the tetraploids from the diploids Dioscorea zanziberaceae family, native to the China. Okay, so commercially synthesized for the sex hormone and corticosteroids. Industrial application on the polyploids, they are the commercially synthesized in the sex hormone and corticosteroids. So has been improved significantly by the artificial induction of the tetraploids from the diploids Dioscorea zanziberaceae. So they are native to the China. So other plants was production of the terpenes has increased following artificial chromosomes doubling. Okay, and it enhance the production of the secondary metabolism such as the alkaloids and terpenes in the polyploids may concurrently offer the resistance to pests and pathogens. Okay, pests and pathogens. So now we see the advantages of the polypoids. So enlarge and increase the vigor, flowers or fruit size are the enlarged and increased. Okay, then creation of the sterile triploids, then restore the fertility in hybrid, and then overcoming barriers in hybridization, and last one, that is enhance the pest resistance and stress tolerance. These all are the advantages of the polypoids. Now we see the drawback or disadvantages of the polypoids. Okay, so first, that is inbreeding in polyploids. Okay, inbreeding in polypoids. Then effect of the polypoids on sterility. Then effect of the polypoids in inheritance of the and population genetics. Okay, first, that is inbreeding. Second one, that is the sterility, effect on the polypoids on sterility. Third one, that is the effect of the polypoids on the inheritance and population of the genetics. Okay, so now we over this topic, that is the polypoids and mutation. Okay, so I hope you all guys are the enjoying this video. So thank you to all.